Welcome to the Fear and Greed Business News Afternoon Report for Wednesday, the 20th of December, 2023. I'm Sean Aylmer. Every afternoon, we've got the 5 stories that happened today that you need to know about. Story number 1, yet another good day on the market with the S&P ASX 200 within 100 points of an all-time high. Now, that happened back in August 2021. It was 7,632.8 points, almost there. Markets are pricing in rate cuts in the US and eventually in Australia. That means that expectations about earnings are higher, particularly for interest rate sensitive stocks, and that's pushing the bourse up. Today, the ASX 200 closed up 0.7% to 7,537 points. A couple of lithium stocks which haven't had a good year, Sayona Mining and Core Lithium, led the market higher, both rising more than 11%. James Hardie was again the best of the large caps. It's had plenty of friends, has for quite a while. It's finished up 3.6% today. Its share price has doubled over the past year. Telstra was another good performer today, up 2%, while Woolies, Wesfarmers, Macquarie Group, Westpac and CSL all rose by 1% or more. Worst of the mega caps today was Fortescue Metals Group, which dropped nearly 1%, but it is still the best of the very large stocks over the past year, up 40%. Story number 2, Prime Minister Anthony Albanese has reiterated his firm opposition to anti-Semitism while pushing Israel to respect international humanitarian law in its fight against Hamas in Gaza. In a major foreign policy speech to the Lowy Institute, Mr. Albanese also said he was clear-eyed about threats posed by Xi Jinping's China as Australia's biggest trading partner agitates to displace US dominance in the region and fashion a world order that sings to Beijing's tune. Hundreds of guests bypassed a noisy pro-Palestinian demonstration outside the Sydney Town Hall before Mr. Albanese spoke. According to the Financial Review, also there, of course, was Sir Frank Lowy, a Holocaust survivor and founder of Westfield. He addressed the gathering about his ambition for the Institute, which was his gift to Australia. The 93-year-old travelled from Israel to attend the lecture, which marks the 20th anniversary of the Lowy Institute that he founded, still chairs and substantially funds. Story number 3, bits and pieces of corporate news around the place, though things are definitely quieter in the run into Christmas. Incitec Pivot today said it will return $1 billion to shareholders via a buyback and special dividend following the sale of its Waggaman facility. Explosives and mining services giant Orica will buy sensors, software and data group Terra Insights for $561 million. And shares in property tech group PEXA fell 11%, the worst for the top 200 today, after warning of uncertainties in its UK conveyancing business. Story number 4, KMD Brands, the owner of outdoor adventure retailer Kathmandu and surfing label Ripcall, has blamed poor consumer sentiment for wiping out sales growth. Its flagship Kathmandu stores suffered a 22% drop in sales for the first 4 months of fiscal 2024, with much of the pain coming from wholesale channels as volatile trading conditions and macroeconomic challenges saw many retail customers hold back from placing orders. That, along with slower sales growth in the company-owned stores, reflect weaker consumer sentiment. Sales across the group were 12.5% below last year for the first 4 months of 2024 financial year, although gross margins have shown some improvement. And story number 5, Wall Street is having a great run. Comments overnight by a Fed official that the US Central Bank will cut interest rates if current progress on inflation continues. And another comment by an official who said while there's no urgency to cut, he expects lower rates next year. Both those helped equities. By the close, the S&P 500 was near a record high, while both the Dow Jones and tech-heavy Nasdaq were at record highs. Oil prices continue to edge up as tensions remain high in the Middle East and shipping continues to be disrupted in the Red Sea. The Aussie dollar hit a 5-month high today of just under 68 US cents. That's on the back of a weaker greenback, and Bitcoin is trading above 42,000 US dollars a unit. That's it for the afternoon report for Wednesday, the 20th of December, 2023. Don't forget to hit follow on the podcast and find Fear and Greed on LinkedIn, Instagram, X and Facebook. Join Michael Thompson and I tomorrow morning for the Fast 5 by Fear and Greed. The top 5 business stories you need to know in just 5 minutes. I'm Sean Aylmer. Enjoy your evening.